Well, drama at the start of the pre-final. Kart 630. Norman Stanovics has just taken a spin, although he's okay. But front row starter Harold Skokaklis not out of Parc Fermé yet. Not out of the assembly area, the dummy grid. Call it what you will. And we're on the second formation lap already. Major problems for Harold Skokaklis. Well, definite problems for several of the drivers at the start of this, but on the positive note, Sean Babington is on pole position. Harold Skokaklis, who was due to take his place on the outside of the front row, has not left Parc Fermé. Florent Lambert at the back of the grid has got an issue. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Oh, Flo, can you make it round to take the start? And it's an aborted start, an aborted start. Well, that's good news for Florent Lambert. He may be able to get himself to his rightful position, which is on row 9. But of course, he does need to be going at racing pace. No, he drives off the circuit. Oh dear, that is unfortunate. Harold Skokaklis, I'm told, is still not coming out. And it looks like a non-start for the would-be front row starter from Latvia.
Can't get it started, I don't.
Can't fire the machine up, I think, is the initial thought of Jill, my lap scorer and spotter. Sean Babington will start on the front row alone. Lucas Orrock and Sean Slavin will be row 2. Zenderu and Alexandra Finkelstein, row 3. Kevin Ludi and Andreas Bachmann, row 4. Mika Laiho and Antti Ramo, row 5. It's a 13-lap pre-final for the DD2 and DD2 Masters. Here we go. Campios, the setting. The 2-speed carters coming up to the start line. And that looks like a start, and not surprisingly, Sean Babington from pole position with nobody alongside him on the front row taking that early lead. Lucas Orrock following him up the hill in second place. Good start by Sean Slavin as I read that. Zenderuva also having got away sharply, looks to be in fourth place as I speak. Going up to the top of the hill, swinging right and now starting the descent. Sean Babington 1, Lucas Orrock 2, Sean Slavin 3, Zenderuva 4, and a change for 5th to 4th, and that's a nice move by the intrepid driver there in kart number 608, Kevin Ludi, sorry, the Birel driver, Kevin Ludi moving up a place there into 5th, and another move at the far side of the circuit from near the front, which I wasn't able to read. It is just one of the tiny little blind spots from the commentary position. Those of you watching the RGMMC TV images, I do feel a little bit jealous because I don't have that facility. But climbing up the hill, Sean Babington, pursued by Lucas Oryx second. Zenderuva now having moved into third place. Just looking down the field, Harold Gokaklis confirmed as a non-starter. Florent Lambert effectively a non-starter, although I think he's out on track now. Just coming over the start-finish line. That's cart number 619. So Florent Lambert is a lap down, but is in the race, and at the moment in 23rd place. Masters category led by Louis Baudron at the moment in cart 629. Zenderu takes off another place, having gone past Lucas Oryx, and has now got Sean Babington in sight. In the last of the heats yesterday, or in the fastest of the heats, Zenderu was quickest, set the fastest lap, although Sean Babington was consistently fast across all of the 10-lap race distance. We step up in distance to 13 laps this morning for the pre-final. Sean Babington's lead as we sweep down the big hill, the biggest grade. Ooh, well, that looks like 5 or 6 cart lengths. Under braking looks a little bit less. Sean Babington getting away though. Definitely got a clear cushion on Zenderuva. Lucas Oryx looking relatively comfortable in 4th place. Sean Slaving having been the guy who was looking closest at one point, and now just getting a tiny little bit detached is Sean Slaving from Lucas Oryx in 3rd place. 4th place Sean Slaving, 5th place Kevin Ludi, and those 5 are clear of the rest of the field by a margin of about 8 or 9 cart lengths. This is the start of lap 5. Excuse me, it's the start of lap 4. Well, Zenderu getting closer to Sean Babington. I don't want to just fix my gaze on the front two, because there's plenty more racing to be taken in from these DD2 guys and DD2 masters. But I would say that one lap ago, Sean Babington's lead over Zenderuva was a third as much a gain than it is now. In fact, Zenderuva very nearly halved that advantage. Was 0.358 of a second in favour of the Englishman. Right now, it would be half of that, and even less. Lucas Oryx still running 3rd. Sean Slavin still 4th. And there goes the move by Zenderuva, and he executes it. The Belgian, who didn't set out, but Sean Babington fights back and retakes the lead. Well, this has got echoes of the first heat yesterday, where Sean Babington led, was passed by Harold Gokaklis, regained the lead. Now Zenderuva has regained the lead, and Sean Babington again. So 3 changes of lead in the last 3/4 of a lap. Zenderuva leads as we go up the hill to the top of the hill, turning right. Sean Babington second. Much closer now in 3rd place is Lucas Oryx. 4th Sean Slavin. 5th is Kevin Ludi. Then a little bit of a gap, about 10 lengths back to Alexandra Finkelstein 6th. Mika Laiho running 7th. Andreas Bachmann 8th. Alexis Corso 9th. And it's Antti Ramo completing the top 10. Well, I'm going to be leaning on Jill doing the manual lap scoring while I look at the screen to tell you that in the Masters, Louis Baudron leads, Igor Mukin 2nd, Marc Berteau 3rd, Nadir Kabaj 4th, and Placido Andrisani 5th in the Masters. This is lap 6 of a 13-lap race for the DD2 pre-final. Well, Zenderuva's margin over Sean Babington at the end of the lap was 0.21 of a second. Just looking up the hill, wouldn't have thought it was any less than that now. Both Zenderu, the leader of the race, and Kevin Ludi, now in 4th place, failed to post a time in qualifying practice, and therefore both had to start at the back, but both of them charging through the field in the heats and getting themselves handily placed for the pre-final. Well, how more handily placed can you be than leading it? That's the lot of Zendaroo, and Kevin Ludi goes up to third place. So I often apologise for putting the commentator's curse in, but having spoken about Kevin Ludi, that's assisted him, if you will, into third place in front of Lucas Orrock. With apologies to Lucas, his dad and his followers. So coming round to the halfway stage, 6.5 laps gone, 6.5 laps to go. Zendaroo leads, Sean Babington second, Kevin Ludi third, Lucas Orrock fourth, Sean Slavin fifth, Mika Laiho sixth, Alexandra Finkelstein 7, Andreas Bachmann 8, Alexis Corso 9 and Antti Ramo 10. For the Masters, Louis Baudron is 12th overall but leads the Masters. Igor Mukin is 13th overall but second in the Masters. Marc Bateau is 14th overall but third in the Masters, as Sean Slavin goes back past Lucas Orrock. Lucas Orrock, who had been running third, drops to fifth. Sean Slavin, who had previously been fourth, goes back up to fourth. And this is the start of lap 8 into the second half of the race now. The Game and Sporting Florent Lambert is a lap down but continues to circulate, so well done to Flo. Commiserations for the problems that beset him at the start, and particularly so to Harold Skokaklis. It's one thing not to be able to start the pre-final, but when you're scheduled to start the pre-final on the front row, that really does hurt. Well, Sean Babington was 0.289 of a second behind Zendaroo at the end of lap 7, looking as they turn right to go down the lower back straight for the 8th time. Well, I was going to say I think it's perhaps less than that, but maybe not, maybe not. Kevin Ludi getting closer in third place, I do believe. Mika Laiho has gone past Lucas Orrock, so the Englishman just slipping away a little bit, running in 6th place now. 6th place finish in the pre-final for an outside row 3 start. Wouldn't have been Lucas Orrock's first choice. Zendaroo driving steadily in the upper serpentine, climbing up to the top part of the circuit. Turn right to start the long descent, right again to drop down the steepest part of the circuit into the bubble at the toe, onto the return home straight. A little bit more of a margin in favour of Zendaroo on this, the 9th lap, than it was on the previous lap, lap 8. Sean Babington still the guy in pursuit. Kevin Ludi not a lot closer to Sean Babington, if any closer at all than he was on the previous lap. Bit of a gap back then to the Flying Scotsman, Sean Slavin, the Dumfries and Galloway driver, in 4th place. Mika Laiho completing the top 5. Igor Mukin has taken the lead in Masters. Igor Mukin in kart 625 has taken the lead in Masters. Now Louis Baudron 2nd in Masters, Marc Bateau 3rd in Masters. And the Masters leader previously, Louis Baudron, slips down to 16th overall and 3rd in the Masters. We're on lap 10 of a 13-lap DD2 pre-final, and now there is absolutely no question, both on the evidence of the transponders, the timing screen and the naked eye, that Zendaroo is pulling away a little bit from Sean Babington. Kevin Ludi now is closer to Sean Babington than he was a lap ago, but not in a position to make a challenge for 2nd place at this stage. Coming round to complete the 10th lap of 13, so 3 to go. Zendaroo's lead now up to 0.7 of a second, give or take, less than the blink of an eye. And Kevin Ludi definitely getting closer to Sean Babington. Well, now we start talking tactics, don't we? If it was you, you're 0.7 of a second behind race leader Sean Babington, you're late in the race in the pre-final. Do you want to finish 2nd for an outside front row start? Do you want to finish 3rd for an inside row 2 start. We have seen some good battles, and we've seen some good negative battles for second and third in pre-finals. People feigning motor problems and actually being shoveled over the line by the guy behind them. Seen that more than once. Sean Babington second, Kevin Ludi third is what? And there is the move by Kevin Ludi. So if Kevin Ludi was thinking anything, he was thinking, I want the highest finish I can get. And Kevin Ludi moves into second place. Sean Babington may or may not be disappointed to have lost second place. There's 2 laps to go. Well, I ask you a question. What value a qualifying practice competition? Both Zenderuva and Kevin Ludi were deemed to have illegitimate carts before we started the qualifying competition. So they both drove out of the assembly area into Parc Fermé, did not post a time, and therefore had to start the heats last. And here in the pre-final, with 1.5 laps to go, Zenderu leads it and Kevin Ludi is in second place. Makes you think, doesn't it? Just over a lap remaining. Sean Babington, from his position on the track, you would not feel was in a position to make a challenge on Kevin Ludi. Would he wish to do so? Well, that's academic. We've just had a chat about it. We're on the last lap, and Zenderuva has the luxury of a lead of 1.4 seconds. Kevin Ludi in second place, Sean Babington in third. Sean Slavin, the Scotsman, getting a lot closer to Sean Babington, the Englishman, but we've only got 3/4 of a lap to go, so it's hard to see the Scot catching the Englishman and going past him. But Sean Babington in a funny position now. If he doesn't want to go past, and Kevin Ludi looks over his shoulder, because Sean Slavin running in 4th place, if he could improve on an outside second row start, he would choose to do so. Behind Sean Slavin, Mika Laiho is on course to start on the inside of row 3. So, coming round onto the home straight, no doubt about the winner. It's from Belgium, Zenderu. So unlucky in the World Final, wins the Winter Cup pre-final. Kevin Ludi is second, Sean Babington third, Sean Slavin fourth, Mika Laiho fifth, Lucas Oryx sixth, Alexis Corso 7, Antti Ramo 8, Andreas Bachmann 9, and Alex Finkelstein completing the top 10. In the Masters, Igor Mukin was 13th overall but first in Masters. Marc Bateau was 14th overall but second in Masters. And Louis Baudron was 16th overall but third in Masters. Commiserations to Harold Gokaklis, who couldn't start the race. Commiserations to Mindert van Buren, who went out on lap 6. Commiserations to Flo Lombard, who well, did start the race but was always a lap down. Very, very unlucky. Well, with all but one of the DD2s now in Parc Fermé, let's have a look and see how the pre-final chart shows at the end of 13 racing laps. Zenderu of Belgium, the race winner by a margin of just about 1.8 seconds, a big winning margin. In second place from Switzerland, Kevin Ludi. And I say again, both Zenderu and Kevin Ludi unable to post times in the qualifying competition because of irregularities that they were penalised for. They had to start the heats at the back, but they've come home 1 and 2 in the pre-final, and they will start the final on the front row. Subject, of course, to scrutineering, to technical, to judicial. Coming home in third place, the pole sitter Sean Babington. In fourth place, the Flying Scotsman Sean Slavin. In fifth place from Finland, Mika Laiho. In sixth place, Lucas Orrock. Lucas will be a little disappointed, I feel, because he was running in a strong third place at one stage. Alexis Corso of France on his RGMMC debut, 7th. Antti Ramo of Estonia, 8th. Andreas Backman of Sweden, very cold Sweden right now, in 9th place. And Alex Finkelstein of France completing the top 10.